Welcome to the Officer Autumn Show podcast, the realest and most upfront podcast designed specifically for female first responders. I'm your host, Autumn Clifford, and I hope you enjoy this podcast.
So how about a jewelry company made and designed by a medically retired female officer? Yeah, let's support her. It's called Blue Monarch Co. You can find it on Instagram. You'll be able to check it out in the show notes. Anyways, I've been wearing this necklace from her company since January. It has come I don't take it off. It comes in the shower, it comes in the tanning booth, it goes everywhere with me, and it looks amazing still. Go check it out because right now she's offering you, as one of my listeners, 40% off. The code is going to be right down in the show notes, along with the link to her website, and you can go check out the pictures of me wearing my angel necklace on Instagram if you have any questions. Hope you check them out.
Let's talk about today becoming obsessed with or needing extreme outside validation. The reason I'm sharing this with you is because I feel like as women, we really, really need this a lot. And I'm not taking this away from any man. I think that men might need this too. It just appears from being a woman, from coaching women and men, that women tend to need this more than men by and large. But this is for anybody can listen to this and anybody can relate to this. But the needing or desiring outside validation consistently, in order for you to feel good about yourself, in order for you to feel good about what you are doing. So I want to talk about this. I'm just going to put it out there because this is something that can ruin your fucking life. Here's an example. Okay. As a police officer, I'm going to use the example. If you constantly need to be told you are doing a good job, if you are constantly nervous that you are just fucking things up because you don't know the laws, you don't know the policies, you aren't sure if you're being liked and you're not sure if you fit in and you want to be all these things and you're just not sure. And I'm talking like beyond FTO, because like in FTO and like I would say the year after FTO, you really don't know anything yet. You're just trying to understand. And I know even at 2 years in, like we don't know a lot, but depending on how busy you are, you do start to begin to know what you're doing. You know what I mean? And you should start developing the sense of like confidence and feeling good about the work that you do. But then what happens is we either never let go of that sense of, oh my goodness, am I doing a good job? Do people like me? We tend not to like lose that. And here's what I want to say, okay, is that is honestly going to take you out. And I want to say this, if you feel like this, if you like critically feel like you need outside validation, you are normal. There's nothing wrong with you. I'm going to help you through that today. This is definitely a coaching moment. This episode is really about me helping you to flip your mindset. And I really want to talk about it because I go through this. I've gone through this and this is no stranger to me. And that's why I can talk about it. I grew up, I'm an only child. Okay. And I love my parents. My parents are my best friends. Truly. You ask anybody who knows us. I'm not just saying that, like we are fucking tight, but I grew up, lower middle class. We didn't have a lot. Okay. We didn't have a lot. And my parents busted their ass. And so with them being gone all the time, they were working. I was with babysitters. And then when I was like 10 or 11, I could start staying home by myself. And I just felt like I just never felt good enough. And obviously one thing that helped me a lot was karate. I've been in the martial arts since I've been 5 years old. Karate, just so we're clear, I trained in jiu-jitsu, judo, it's Shotokan karate. I competed in sport karate. I trained in boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing. So, you know, I've done a few of the martial arts and I've been doing that since I've been 5 years old. And I can tell you that that has definitely helped my self-esteem. And I do not know where I would be if it wasn't for that, because as you've heard me say to you, unless you're brand new to this, you know, there is a lot of confidence that comes with being punched in the fucking head and getting your ass handed to you over and over and over again. And while it is intimidating, I'm going to make this whole other podcast episode on this, but like, while it is intimidating to go to a class like this, knowing you're going to go get your ass handed to you, like on the daily for like the next hour, you are just going to be fucking beat to a fucking pulp pretty much. Like, while that is intimidating to go do that, I promise you after 3 or 4 months of that, you start to be able to understand at least how to protect yourself. I'm not saying you're not going to know how to fucking do anything other than just survive the beating. But in martial arts, okay? And in any kind, in any form. This can be jujitsu, this can be boxing, this can be kickboxing. I mean, this could be fucking anything. You are just going to begin to learn how to fucking survive the beating, okay? Once you understand that, it translates into this newfound confidence, this newfound self-esteem that cannot be taught. One thing I'm excellent at is teaching how to be confident in yourself, okay? As a woman or even as a man, just how to be confident in yourself. But I'm going to tell you, there is nothing that's going to teach you faster than doing this. And so for me, I do think that that helped me. But with, you know, going back and just sharing with you, like, you know, I had to figure out, I was by myself a lot growing up and like had to figure out things all by myself. And so I think I was constantly like, hey, mom, do you think I'm doing a good job? Hey, mom, hey, pop. That's what I call my dad, pop. You know, hey, pop, am I doing a good job? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I was constantly seeking that. Like, it was this big void I've always had with, am I actually doing the right thing? Am I actually doing a good job? And when I became a cop, there was a time where, you know, I luckily, while I did have a very, one of my FTOs was very shitty, but the first FTO I ever had was excellent. And he took me under his wing and we trained martial arts together. We'd work out together. Like, he really fucking took me under his wing and we would have real conversations. And one of the conversations we had was, if you don't start fucking believing in yourself, you're going to fail as a cop. And I think what happened with my second FTO experience, now that like I'm not, like it's been a long fucking time, like what I think is that guy picked up on the fact that I didn't believe in myself and they kicked me off FTO literally 4 weeks early and basically was like, okay, this bitch is either going to sink or fucking swim. Like, that's it. Like, we're done with her. And that's basically what my lieutenant said. He's like, yep, you're fucking done. Get in your own fucking, go get in your own cruiser. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, this whole you being in a fucking, like being on a, it's just not working. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I do believe like the FTO that I was under, like, he had his own stuff. Like, he definitely never liked me, which is totally fine, right? Because honestly, we're all humans and we all don't fucking like each other. That's true. But I think a lot of it had to do with my own self-confidence. Like, I was just so nervous. Like, I just wanted to be liked and I just wanted to fit in and I'm like, fucking weird. And my first FTO, like him pulling me aside even after I was done with him and being like, if you don't start believing in yourself, you're going to fail. That changed everything for me. Now, I wish that I could tell you that that also was the day that I started believing in myself and had like massive self-confidence. Now, here's what I want to say. I don't know if it's a fucking destination. I just don't. I don't know if never looking for outside validation is a destination. If it is, I know I'm surely on the fucking journey and hoping I get there soon. But I'm not sure it is a destination. I think that as humans, we all actually like biologically want to fit in with one another. Like, you know, we have like grown as a society since like since like the start of us, right? We've always been in communities and we've always wanted to fit into that community and we've always wanted to be liked, right? When we think about like romantic partnerships, when we think about just like being a part of the pack, being a part of the community, like being part of like what we do. We've all always wanted to be liked and loved. I mean, that's our human basic needs, right? Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And that's a basic one, is the need to be loved and the need to fit in. And so I don't know, like, I want you to know that. I want you to think about that. And I want you to ask yourself these questions. These are the hard questions, okay? Is why do I need so-and-so's approval? Like, what am I getting by having them approve of me? What is by them approving of me, what do I receive? That's really fucking important, because from there, you're going to figure out what you actually need, because you don't actually need anyone's approval. What you're lacking is whatever is within that approval. Most of the time, if we just get really basic, it's like love. It's fitting in. It's, you want to be loved. And so then the next question really comes like, well, where am I not feeling loved in my life? Where am I feeling empty in my life? Where do I feel like I'm not fitting in? Where do I feel like the real me isn't enough? That's fucking deep. That's deep. And now, if I were you, I would go back and I would fucking re-listen to this podcast and I'd write these questions down and I would journal on them. And, if you're on overnights or if you work at if you're having like some slow time, I'll tell you, be in your cruiser, put yourself in a safe spot. If you happen to work in an agency where this will work out for you, not everybody does. And I'm aware of that. Or do this after, like before you go to bed, after shift. And it's highly effective. And get a journal, put it in your cruiser, write and journal. I used to always carry a journal in my duty bag. As you just never knew. Like, you just never know what's going to be going on and what you need to be writing down, and when I needed to just clear my head. Journaling's an excellent tool for clearing your head. But just a little bit more so if you go and answer those questions about the outside validation, you're going to get clear on what it is you're lacking, where you're not loving yourself, and how you can move forward loving yourself. At the end of the day, that's the number one thing. Is if I've learned anything in my life, it's nobody is going to love you more than you love you. And if you don't actually like yourself or love yourself, and you actually get very fucking real with yourself about that, you're going to you're going to discover some gaping fucking wounds. But the beautiful thing about that is then you can start to heal those wounds. Most of us are running so far away from actually healing those wounds that we're just making everything worse, and we're cutting ourselves deeper and deeper and deeper. We're filling voids with shit that we don't actually care about. We're filling voids with shit that doesn't actually matter. We're doing things for people's approval because we're trying to heal or fill a void. But what we should be doing is setting down the need for other people's approval, looking ourselves in the mirror, answering the hard fucking questions, filling our cup up ourselves. And then from that point, when your cup is filled, you don't really care to have anybody else add to your cup. You don't need anybody else to approve of you to fill to your cup. But when your cup is empty, that is when we need the, approval of others. That is when, that's when it happens. Like that's when we start, seeking outside validation, outside love. And I know it's kind of like, Jesus, here we are, fucking Clifford's talking about all this like love stuff, but it's true, if you want to transform, then this is the shit that's going to transform you. I hope this was extremely helpful. If you have questions, I want you to let me know. Reach out to me on the DMs on Instagram. Join our Facebook group. It's called Officer Autumn's Female Cops. You'll be able to find it in the show notes. Hang out with me on TikTok at Officer Autumn. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. I will answer them on the podcast anonymously, so you can submit them. And if you're in my Facebook group, I'll help you as much as possible. All right. Take care and stay safe.